Fall of Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler's reign came to a catastrophic end during the final days of World War II. By 1944, the tide of the war had turned against Nazi Germany. The Allies, led by the United States, the United Kingdom, and the Soviet Union, were closing in on all fronts. In early 1945, Soviet forces entered Poland, pushing further into Eastern Europe. Hitler's bunker, the Führer Bunker, became his final refuge in Berlin. As the Allies advanced, Berlin was subjected to intense aerial bombings. In April 1945, Adolf Hitler and several high-ranking officials, including Joseph Goebbels and Heinrich Himmler, were trapped in the Führer Bunker. Hitler's health was deteriorating, and his leadership was increasingly erratic. On April 30, 1945, Hitler and Eva Braun, his longtime companion, committed suicide in the bunker. Hitler took a cyanide capsule and shot himself. Eva Braun took cyanide and died alongside him. Their bodies were hastily cremated in the bunker's garden. With Hitler's death, the remaining Nazi leadership faced a power vacuum. Grand Admiral Karl Dönitz was appointed as Hitler's successor. Dönitz assumed leadership for a short time, until Germany's unconditional surrender. On May 7, 1945, Germany surrendered to the Allies, marking the end of World War II in Europe. The surrender was officially signed on May 8, 1945, known as Victory in Europe V-Day. The fall of Hitler marked the end of the Nazi regime and its atrocities. The Nuremberg trials were held to prosecute Nazi leaders for war crimes and crimes against humanity. Many high-ranking Nazi officials were captured, tried, and convicted. Some, like Hermann Göring, were sentenced to death. Others received lengthy prison sentences. The trials established a precedent for prosecuting individuals for international crimes. Hitler's ideology of Nazism and its horrific actions during the Holocaust were exposed. The Holocaust revealed the extent of the Nazi regime's crimes against humanity. The fall of Hitler and the Nazis marked a turning point in history. Europe, devastated by war, began the process of post-war reconstruction. The division of Germany into East and West, along with the Iron Curtain, characterized the early Cold War era. The fall of Hitler allowed for the rebuilding of a democratic and united West Germany. East Germany fell under Soviet influence. Berlin itself was divided into East and West Berlin. The fall of Hitler had long-lasting political and social repercussions. The Allied occupation aimed to denazify and democratize Germany. The Nuremberg principles, established during the trials, continued to influence international law. The fall of Hitler marked the end of an era of totalitarianism in Europe. The ruins of Berlin served as a stark reminder of the war's devastation. The fall of Hitler had a profound impact on global politics and diplomacy. The United Nations was established to promote peace and cooperation among nations. The end of World War II led to the formation of the United Nations Security Council. Germany was forced to confront its Nazi past and embark on a path of reconciliation. The fall of Hitler also led to the division of Berlin by the Berlin Wall. The Berlin Wall, erected in 1961, separated East and West Berlin for nearly 3 decades. The fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 symbolized the end of the Cold War era. East and West Germany were reunited in 1990. The fall of Hitler and the end of the war were significant events in shaping the modern world. The legacy of the Holocaust continues to be remembered and memorialized. Auschwitz, Bergen-Belsen, and other concentration camps stand as memorials to the victims. Holocaust survivors and their descendants share their stories to ensure the world never forgets. The fall of Hitler was a turning point for the Jewish people, leading to the establishment of Israel. The State of Israel was officially declared on May 14, 1948. Israel became a homeland for Jewish survivors of the Holocaust. The fall of Hitler and the Nazis brought relief to many oppressed groups. The liberation of concentration camps exposed the horrors of Nazi persecution. The fall of Hitler was a moment of liberation for those held in captivity. Many Allied soldiers and resistance fighters played vital roles in the defeat of Nazi Germany. The fall of Hitler was a culmination of years of struggle and sacrifice. Resistance movements in occupied Europe contributed to the defeat of the Nazis. Partisans in Eastern Europe harassed German forces. French resistance fighters played a crucial role. During the liberation of France, the fall of Hitler brought an end to the Vichy regime in France. The Vichy government had collaborated with the Nazis during the war. The Allied forces celebrated victory in Europe, but the war continued in the Pacific. The fall of Hitler marked the beginning of the end of World War II. The dropping of atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki led to Japan's surrender. World War II officially ended on September 2, 1945, with the signing of the Japanese Instrument of Surrender. The fall of Hitler and the Nazis remains a significant topic of historical research and reflection. Historians continue to analyze the factors that led to Hitler's rise and fall. The fall of Hitler serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of extremist ideologies. The fall of Hitler and the Nazis had a profound impact on the world's perception of war and peace. The United Nations was established to prevent future conflicts and promote diplomacy. The fall of Hitler and the Nazis resulted in the dismantling of the Third Reich. The Nuremberg trials exposed the scale of Nazi crimes and the responsibility of its leaders. The fall of Hitler allowed for the return of democracy and human rights in Europe. The European Recovery and Reconstruction Program, the Marshall Plan, helped rebuild war-torn Europe. The fall of Hitler marked the end of a chapter in European history. The war's destruction paved the way for post-war economic and political developments. The fall of Hitler brought about the emergence of the United States and the Soviet Union as superpowers. The Cold War rivalry between the two superpowers dominated international relations. The fall of Hitler had geopolitical consequences that shaped the world order. The division of Germany and Berlin were emblematic of the Cold War division. The Berlin airlift in 1948-1949 highlighted the tensions between East and West. The fall of Hitler and the Nazi regime led to the denazification of Germany. Nazi symbols and ideology were banned, and former Nazi officials were removed from positions of authority. The fall of Hitler allowed for the recovery of stolen art and assets looted by the Nazis. The Nuremberg trials held individuals accountable for their. Thanks for watching. Please do subscribe, like, comment, and hit the bell icon for watching more videos.